Children are individuals, and as such, they make mistakes like you and I. So as much as possible, as teachers, guardians, parents, family, we must understand that children make mistakes. Okay? Children do things that they're not supposed to, right? However, there are certain things that we should not say to our children. Okay, so I'm going to be coming from that angle in today's episode. Welcome to our CC channel. My name is Abimbo. The first thing I want to talk about is labeling a child. Please do not label any child. It's okay for you to correct children. Don't get me wrong. You must. You should correct every child, especially when they do something wrong. However, do not label. Do not make that child feel less than what he or she is because of the labeling that you have put on that child. Okay? So be very careful when you're trying to correct a child. Do not label the child. No matter the age of your learners, please do not disrespect them. Make sure that the respect that you have for them is mutual. I'll tell you something, if you respect your pupils or your students, they will respect you in return. So let's try as much as possible to respect them, okay? And of course, they will respect you. I'm sure you understand what I mean when I say respect, right? You talk to them the right way, address them properly, so that they in return, when they go wrong, you point them back and say, okay, no, don't do this, don't do that. You know, you have a firm grip on them if you show respect and if there's mutual respect between you and your learners. 3, please do not ever tell your child that he or she will never do well. That's one statement that you should not say. Sorry, I'm being very passionate about this, but it is something that you must not say. Please don't tell anyone that you will never do well. It's wrong. Please don't say it. No matter how disappointed you are with that child, make sure that you talk about issues. Okay, you address issues, but don't go into saying that you will never do well, you'll never do well, nothing you can do will come out right, you're just good for nothing. Please don't say that. Next, be careful about the way you compare. It's okay to compare, right? However, unhealthy comparisons can lead to a lot of things, which we'll be talking about in subsequent episodes. Okay? Comparing is fine, but when you compare in such a way that you hurt the feelings of the other child, then it becomes a problem. Okay? So when you have to compare, yes, compare. Of course, we want to compare goodly. How do you, for instance, say to a child that this is good and this is bad? You do that when you compare, isn't it? But we need to be careful not to take the comparisons to another level, such that the children become rivals, and then the one who doesn't get it all the time tends to look at the other one as trouble and sees the other one as a rival. So when we're comparing, let's also make the child who is not doing it right to understand the reason why you're referring him or her to the other person. Okay, so let's be very careful when we compare children's attitudes, children's academic work, children's creativity and all of that. Remember that every child is a bundle of talent. So what this child can do varies from what that child can do. However, we can balance it up. So let's compare, but let's compare carefully. Okay? Next. Please don't lose your temper. Okay? I'll tell you something. When you're dealing with children, when you're dealing with adolescents, they tend to misbehave. I said this at the beginning. They do misbehave, yes. And I've also said that we must correct them. But let's correct them. Children will push you. Okay? When I say children, I'm talking about the young ones. I'm also talking about adolescents. Okay? The teenagers and all of that. They will push you. But do not allow them to push you to a point where you react negatively. React as far as wanting to strike out, wanting to say things you're not supposed to, wanting to do things you're not supposed to. Please be very, very careful with the way you react. If you're a person who struggles with anger management and you're a teacher, you need to work on yourself, okay? Because if you think that children will not push you, then you have another thing coming, because they will push you. Alright, they will push you to your limit. Children will say things that can make you hit the roof. And what makes you stand out as a teacher? The fact that you're able to guide the children properly, right? Yes, you correct them, but don't react negatively. Do not dominate your pupils or students from the beginning of the class all the way to the end. Allow them to share their ideas. It's fun, or it's more interactive. Children learn better when you allow them share their opinions about certain topics or certain issues that you're talking about. So give the children space. Let them air their views. Let them share their ideas. And guess what? You will learn a thing. Next, try not to exhibit superiority or inferiority complex with your learners. Be very careful about that, okay? Try not to display such attributes. Be yourself with your learners. Don't feel superior to them, okay? Otherwise, they will not want to listen to you. And don't be inferior, otherwise they will want to hide you, okay? So be very careful. Learn to balance your emotions around your children. Never dismiss challenges and concerns. Do not be too soft or too hard. Strike a balance. Try not to take things to heart, okay? Just be yourself. A child, I know that sometimes children say things, right? Our learners say things that can be very painful. Yes, being very honest, because I know that these are things that teachers go through. Sometimes our learners say things that can be very painful. Take it as something that you need to look into. If it's a child that is always saying things like that, you probably have to work with that child, okay? And then again, on the other side, on the flip side, listen to what that child has said. What is that child saying? For instance, a child can say, let me be very down to earth here. A child can say, why does your shirt look so rough? Why are you looking unkempt? Ooh, that's below the belt, right? But again, take some time to listen, to reflect on what that child has said. Sometimes our children tell us what they see or what they feel. The only thing is that, again, sometimes they don't know how to put this. The question is, why are you looking unkempt? Okay? So it's a mix of so many things. So when children talk, listen and reflect. Okay? And then finally, every child can learn. Do not give up on anyone. I'll see you again next week. Stay tuned. Bye. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to comment. I'd love to read from you.